A very good morning, students. In our previous session, you've learned about Boyle's law. Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law. These are the very important gas laws to arrive at the ideal gas equation PV is equal to nRT. In our earlier session, you have learned about Boyle's law where the temperature is constant, that is it is under isothermal condition. Temperature is constant means what? Iso means what? Same. Thermal means temperature, so it is at same temperature, so that is PV is equal to constant. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. And today's lecture you are going to learn about another gas law named Charles' law. So let us learn what is Charles' law. Well, students, have a look. What is Charles' law stating? It is as follows. Firstly, for a fixed mass of gas, that means number of moles and mass of the gas, you can take anything, it is constant. So for a fixed mass of a gas, the volume of the gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. That means temperature should be in Kelvin. So volume is directly proportional to temperature. This temperature should be, it is in Kelvin. This is the basic preliminary understanding about Charles' law. Well, you can take here the initial state where there is a volume V1 and a temperature T1. At a temperature T1, so that particular system is having volume V1. So here it is pressure is constant here. When pressure is constant, this condition is called isobaric process. So Charles' law is all about isobaric process and Boyle's law is all about isothermal process. Now, when pressure is constant, then what happens to the volume? So when you increase the temperature, naturally volume will increase. Why it is so? Because it is as follows. So let us take a new slide to understand this. Students, have a look. Initially, how Charles has basically understood or conducted the experiment. Yeah, this is how Charles has taken a capillary tube. He has taken a capillary tube this way. So he has taken a capillary tube this way. Now here you got a ice. Here what you got? You got ice here. You got a ice. So this is ice. Now here you got a water. You got a water. Agreed. Now students, here initially the mercury level is here. This is, let us take, temperature is 0 degrees centigrade. When temperature is 0 degrees centigrade, what happens? Now volume will be very less. Volume will be very less. Now, for example, let us take this temperature is 28 degrees centigrade or 30 degrees centigrade. Then what happens? So volume increases. Volume increases. So you can see volume increases. So this is how Charles has understood that. Even if you take, for example, if you take here a balloon. Now this balloon is having a volume 5 ml and this is a temperature, for example, 30 degrees centigrade. Now for example, I am increasing the temperature to 50 degrees centigrade. Students, what happens? Naturally, so you will find, so there is a increase in volume. So the increase is as follows. The volume will be here around, so for example, 12 ml. Naturally, volume is directly proportional to temperature. Volume is directly proportional to temperature. So why it is so? Because when temperature increases, what happens? For example, let us take a balloon here. When you take a balloon, what happens? The gaseous molecules are here this way. The gas molecules are here. When you increase the temperature, what happens? So the gas molecules will be distributing all over because of the expansion. So volume is directly proportional to temperature. Now you can see this is how in the cylinder, for example, if you see any system, so like a piston, particularly where there is a cylinder. Now you can see here, this is at 250 Kelvin in the first case. In the second case, temperature is around 500 Kelvin. You can see the volume. So for example, if the volume is, this one is V1 and this one is V2, naturally V2 is greater than V1. V2 is greater than V1. So why it is so, students? Why it is so? Because T2 is greater than T1, and you know very well, just write properly here. So here V2 is greater than V1 because volume is directly proportional to temperature. So Charles has conducted various experiments as follows. You can see here, at temperature 50 Kelvin, volume is 20 ml. Similarly, at 200 Kelvin and volume becomes 80. Similarly, at 1000 Kelvin, volume becomes 400, and definitely volume is directly proportional to temperature when pressure is constant, that is isobaric condition. Now here V by T is calculated and V by T is coming constant. Now you will realize this graphically. So how you realize this graphically? Now I will show you V by T. Students, if you take here V by T versus T, if you take, naturally you know it is coming constant. Okay. Similarly, if you take here, V by T, a graph, if you take here V by T, in the earlier case what you have taken, temperature, this you can take volume here, definitely it will be a constant value. So this you have to realize. Now let us understand how Charles' law mathematically, how V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. So how we have derived the Charles' law, we will see now. Now what Charles' law is saying is as follows. For a degree raise in temperature, initially, let us take for example here initial volume. I am giving here initial volume of a gas is given as V0. It is given as V0. Let us take initial volume is V0. Now students, what Charles' law is saying is, for example, for 1 degree raise in temperature, for example, this is at 0 degree centigrade. So let us take here again for 0 degree centigrade, so volume is V0. I'll write in another way. Volume is equal to V0. So what is this volume? This is initial volume. What volume? This is initial volume is V0 for 0 degrees centigrade. Now what Charles' law is saying is, for degree raise in temperature, so for example for 1 degree centigrade, what happens? V1 is equal to V0 plus 1 by 273 of V0. So here I am writing with another color, V0. Student, try to understand. When you increase the temperature by 1 degree, the volume increases by 1 by 273 of V0 value. So how much initial volume is there? 1 by 273 part of the initial volume it increases. So 1 by 273 part of initial volume it is increasing. So this you have to basically realize. So 1 by 273 of. Now for 2 degrees centigrade, what happens? Let us take here, this is V2. V2 is equal to, now V0 plus 1 by, here what happens students? This is what happens? So it will become 2 by 273 into V naught. So try to understand, students. Similarly, for 10 degrees centigrade, V10 is equal to V naught plus 10 by 273 of initial volume. Similarly, for 100 degrees centigrade, V naught plus 100 by 273 into V naught. For minus 10 degrees centigrade, what happens? V naught minus 10 by 273 into V naught. Similarly, for minus 273 degrees centigrade, V minus 273 is equal to volume at what is my meaning of V minus 273? Volume at minus 273 degrees centigrade is equal to V naught minus 273 by 273 into V naught. Students, here you know very well, 273 gets cancelled. Naturally, V naught minus V naught is equal to 0. What is 0? Volume at minus 273 degrees centigrade is coming out to be 0. So the important point is volume at minus 273 degrees centigrade is equal to 0 or 0 Kelvin. Agreed? 0 Kelvin is equal to 0. This is the basic essence. Let us see. Now students, have a look. Now I am writing here general formula. See, Vt, that means at a certain temperature. For 1 degree V1 you have taken. For 10 degrees V10 you have taken. For minus 273 you have taken V minus 273. For example, if we take Vt, here what will become? It will become T. So I am writing here Vt is equal to V naught plus T by 273 into V naught. I hope you understood, students. This is a very, very important understanding. Yeah. This is a very, very important derivation, so which you have to memorize. Now students, now let us take two different conditions. What is the two different two temperatures? Let us take. So for temperature T1 and temperature T2, I am writing a volume here. So for temperature T1, let us take volume is V1. V1 is equal to V naught plus T1 by 273 into V naught. Similarly, for T2, V2 is equal to V naught plus T2 by 273 into V naught. Yeah, this is a two different temperatures you have written. Now have a look, students. Now let us divide it V1 by V2. So V1 by V2 is equal to, how to write? Let us see. Now V naught plus T1 by 273 T1 by 273 into V naught. Similarly, V naught plus T2 by 273 into V naught. Students, similarly you can take here V1 by V2 is equal to, you can take V naught here, you can take here V naught common, V naught into 1 plus T by 273, T1 sorry, here V naught into 1 plus T2 by 273. Students, you know very well, V naught gets cancelled. So what is coming out here? V1 by V2 is equal to 1 plus T1 by 273 divided by divided by 1 plus T2 by 273. Students, you can write like this. V1 by V2 is equal to 273 plus T1 by 273. Similarly, you can write here 273 plus T2 by 273. Here 273 gets cancelled. Now it comes out to be as follows. Or you can do one thing. We will write. We'll continue this. The whole thing will continue here. So I hope you understood this. Now let us take aside. Put it aside. Okay. It is one page. Okay. Now we'll write here like this. Yeah. Now we'll continue. Now this is equal to V1 by V2 is equal to 273 plus T1 by 273 plus T2. Students, mind you always see T is equal to T plus 273. This T is in degree centigrade. So I can write here this way. V1 by V2 is equal to T1 by T2. So this is how very wonderfully one can derive the Charles law. Now you are very clear from the whole episode of derivation of the Charles law, volume is directly proportional to the temperature. Now let us see by graphical format. In the graphical format, students try to understand now what is the meaning of this. Students, have a look here. The graphical format. You take the volume. Here you take the temperature in degrees centigrade. If you take the temperature in degrees centigrade, students, what you write here is this is 0 degrees. This is 273 degrees centigrade. This is minus 273 degrees centigrade. Now what happens? Students? You know very well. This is the volume getting extrapolated and it is becoming 0. So at this point, have a look here. At this point, volume is 0. This is volume is 0. Volume is 0. Volume is 0 at what temperature? At minus 273 Kelvin. At minus 273 degrees centigrade, volume is 0. I hope you understood. So try to understand, students. This is nothing but 0 Kelvin. 0 Kelvin. That's why it is called absolute 0. This is called absolute 0. Yeah, mind you, students. As temperature decreases, volume is also decreasing, and it is becoming 0 or negligible at minus 273 degrees centigrade. Why? Students, have a look. For example, let us take here, I take a container. Let us take here, I take another container. Let us see here, I take another container. These three containers are operating at different 0 degrees centigrade. This is 100 degrees centigrade. This is minus 273 degrees centigrade or 0 Kelvin. Now at 100 degrees centigrade, you know, gas molecules are farther. 0 degrees centigrade, gas molecules are nearer. And minus 270 degrees centigrade, almost it has a negligible volume because the molecular motion ceases or kinetic energy drastically decreases, and naturally because of lacking motion, so the volume becomes negligible. That's why we consider this as gaseous volume as 0 volume. Now in another way, you can also draw a graph this way. Students, have a look here. For example, if you take here volume and temperature here, now what happens? This temperature is in Kelvin, mind you. This is in Kelvin scale. Naturally, this is 0 Kelvin. So at 0 Kelvin, volume becomes 0. Volume becomes 0. This is absolute 0. What is 0 Kelvin means? Absolute 0. Try to understand, students. For example, if you draw the graph in temperature, T degree centigrade. For example, if you take this as T degree centigrade, this is T in degree centigrade, this is volume, and naturally you will be writing like this. So this is minus 273 degrees centigrade. So this is the difference here. So in Kelvin, this is 0 Kelvin. Here this is 0 Kelvin. I hope you understood, because here you have taken centigrade, here you have taken Kelvin, and many students are doing mistake. So this is how absolute zero concept has come into picture. So that is the basic understanding of Charles' law. So let us move forward. Now, how to relate Charles' law with density? So have a look here. Students, you know very well, PV is equal to nRT. You know very well. PV is equal to number of moles is weight by molecular weight into RT. P is equal to W by V into RT by M. Students, W by V, weight by volume, is nothing but density D into RT by M. Agreed or not? D into RT by M. Now, students, you can also think this way. Here, density is equal to mass by volume. Density is equal to mass by volume. Density is inversely proportional to volume. Density is inversely proportional to volume. So, if you take V1 by V2 is equal to T1 by T2, then as density is inversely proportional to the volume, because density is equal to mass by volume, students, here M is constant. M is constant. So density is inversely proportional to volume. I can write here D2 by D1 is equal to T1 by T2. T1 by T2. So it's a very, very important conclusion. So you can use it in the numericals. So students, try to understand, this is the basic understanding between density and volume and temperature relationship under isobaric conditions. So this is how you have derived. So first of all, 1 by 273 into V naught, and similarly at 2 degrees centigrade, 2 by 273 into V naught. So for every T degrees rise in temperature, the volume increase is given by T by 273 naturally. So this is how you can arrive at the conclusion. Now, so already I conveyed VT graph, because here this is absolute 0 Kelvin, volume becomes 0. Now at a minus 273 degrees centigrade, because T is in degrees centigrade, volume becomes 0. That is called VT graph. Now let us see a couple of examples. So how Charles' law has been depicted. So here a sample of hydrogen has an initial temperature of 50 degrees centigrade. So temperature is equal to 50 plus 273. 50 plus 273, because small t plus, already I conveyed to you, small t plus 273. Small t is in degrees centigrade. Already we have discussed it. Now, when the temperature is lowered by minus 5, that means T2 is equal to minus 5 plus 273. Volume becomes 212 ml. That means V2 is equal to 212 centimeter cube, means you can write in ml. So cc. Yeah. So naturally, initial volume V1 you have to calculate, but initial volume is not given. So V1 you calculate, you will be getting 0.256 decimeter cube. Yes. Now, students, have a look at the second question. The second question is as follows. So initial volume is given. So initial volume is given as 521 decimeter cubed. So at isobaric condition, constant pressure, isobaric condition, and temperature is given at 18 degrees, that is T1 is equal to 18 plus 273 Kelvin. When the temperature is increased by 23, that is T2 is given 23 plus 273. Naturally, the V2 will be how much? You just calculate, you get 530 decimeter cube or liters. Now have a look. Students, very, very important here. Now, For example, here I take, or you can take the same example, go back and see here 3 different isobars are given, P1, P2, P3. Yeah. Now, which is greater? Which is greater? Very simple, students. PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to nRT. Here, you know very well, pressure and volume are inversely proportional. Pressure and volume are inversely proportional. That means P3 will be, see, when volume is greater, pressure will be less. So, P3 is less than, P2 is less than P1. That means P1 is greater. That's why you are getting P1 is greater than P2 is greater than P3. This is asked in the competitive examination. So, when different isobars are given, so how to basically arrive at the conclusion which isobar is having lowest pressure or highest pressure. Now, let us move on. Already in the statistics I have shown you how V by T is constant. So, in first case V by T versus temperature is given. Second case V by T versus volume is given. Both cases both cases you are getting constant. Now, this is another wonderful question. Now, this time in the earlier case you have seen, you have taken temperature is given in you can have a look, centigrade. Centigrade is given. See here, temperature is in centigrade, and you found out the isobaric, which is isobar is having lowest pressure. This time the same thing here. So P1 is greater, but this time it is what is given, temperature in Kelvin is given. This is in Kelvin. That is the only only difference. Naturally P1 is greater because when pressure is less, volume will be more. I hope you understood. Yeah. Next. Now, these are the some of the graphs which you have learnt. So whether it is V versus T or T versus V, it is a straight line because V is directly proportional to temperature according to Charles law. V is equal to KT according to Charles law. Now have a look here. You can write Y is equal to mx, which is a straight line. So y is nothing but V. V is along y axis and T is along x axis and slope is k. So I hope you are very clear about these graphs. Now, students, similarly, let us see another. V is directly proportional to T. V is equal to KT. So log V is equal to log K plus log T. Now you can write here log T is equal to log V minus log K. Students, have a look here. This is Y. See, Y axis log T is there. This is mx. So this is mx plus C, intercept. So intercept is K. I hope you understood. So this is how you can get the graph of log T versus log V. You can see here you are getting a negative intercept. Yeah. Now, this is all about the graphs associated under isobaric conditions. Now, let us see a couple of numericals, very simple numericals. Calculate the decrease in temperature in Celsius. So, students, here the question is given in Celsius, you have to find. Now, when volume is V1 is equal to 2 liters, at a temperature is given as 21 plus 273, when volume is compressed to 1 liter. I hope you understood. So V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. So naturally you can substitute these values. So V1 is 2 by V2 is 1, that is equal to temperature T1 by T2. T1 by T2. This is V1 by V2. This is V1 by V2 is equal to T1 by T2. T1 is given 273 plus 21 is nothing but 294. 294 by T2. So find out the T2 value. Now once you get the T2 value in Kelvin, so what you do, students? So 147. Now you have to convert into degree centigrade. So we should do minus 273. Minus 273. That's why degree centigrade is asked. Sometimes you do mistake, because in ABCD options 147 degree centigrade is given. You end up with mistake. You choose this. Why? Because this is not 140. This is in Kelvin. It is in Kelvin. This question has been asked in examination many times. When asked in degree centigrade, at the end you do mistakes. Yeah, I hope you understood. Now similarly, so this is here also volume V1 is given, temperature T1 is given, but T1 you have to convert into, this is T1 is equal to 20 plus 273. Similarly, T2 is equal to 60 plus 273. These are straight questions which very comfortably you can arrive at. Similarly, 1 liter of a gas occupies standard conditions. So V1 is given 1 liter. Standard temperature T1 is equal to 273 Kelvin. And volume at a higher, this is 333 means this is nothing but T2. T2 is equal to 333 degrees centigrade plus 273. I hope you understood. This is a straight away question. 606. This becomes 606 Kelvin. So V1 by V2 is equal to T1 by T2. Substitute it. You will be getting 2.22 liters. So student, try to understand. When temperature increases, volume should increase. So here initial volume is 1 liter, final volume is 2.22 liter. So you can just check out. When you increase the temperature, answer volume is increasing or not. You have to anticipate a higher volume, more volume than initial volume. So let us have a look at another question. A balloon is filled with a volume 2.4 liters. That is volume V1 is given at temperature T1, that is equal to 20 plus 273 Kelvin. So the balloon is heated. Here you want to see, you can see the balloon is heated to a temperature of 70 degrees. So here 70 degrees, this is nothing but T2. T2 is equal to 70 plus 273, and find out the new volume. So same thing, 2.84 liters. Students, try to understand. Initial temperature is 20, final temperature is 70. Naturally volume should increase, so volume is increased from 2.4 to 2.8. So this is how very wonderfully you can solve the questions associated with Charles' law. I hope you have a good understanding, conceptual understanding about Charles' law. Please work out as many numericals as you can, so to consolidate your understanding. Thanks for bearing. Have a good day.